on, fellas? What it look like, man? What it look like, man? This is a Corner of the World episode right here, man.
Yes,
Yo, it's been a minute. It's been a minute coming, man. We've been trying to make this happen for a long time.
Yeah.
Schoolboy Stadium right here.
Yes, sir.
You feel me? Before we get anywhere, man, it's the fucking Hudson Crew podcast. It's your boy Ra.
You already said it, Bucky Stadium.
You know what I mean? And we got some special guests with an S. You know what I mean? It's the Corner of the World Records right here. You know what I mean? My man Kaimo, Q, and Big Dog. I'm gonna call him Big Dog for now because I forgot his name. What's your name, Q?
Nas.
That's Nas, man. Yo, shout out to Nas, man. And of course, I mean, this, like I said, this is a long time coming, man. We've been trying to do a few things. Last time we had some, some hiccups and everything like that, but we here now, man. We back up and running. There's a lot going on, man.
Yeah. A lot of shit going on.
A lot.
I'm fried, man. I'm sorry.
Nigga need the glasses down here. Here you go, Big Dog. Here you go.
Took the shockers.
That Ruben stuttered out this bitch. Stop playing, B. We ain't about to be captain, man. So, Kaimo, what's been going on, man? Tell us what's going on, man.
And bro, just working out here, building the team 10 times stronger. You know what I mean? This Corner of the World episode is real appreciated. You guys, we got for people that ain't here, Lord Entertainment, the other half of the management. And we got my cousin Nas,
Big Dog.
You know what I mean? My brother playing films.
My man
my man Fleecis 93, Dez, my little brother Jordan. You know what I mean? People know the family, the squad. You know what I mean? And for the people that's here, we just rocking out. Been working. Shows, single coming out, EP coming. You know what I mean? Whole nine, bro.
You was playing me some shit before you came in.
Yeah. Yeah, all right, Rod gonna get that.
Oh, you gonna say that? He forced it.
You know when the lawyer be like, yo, I can't play this for you, but I'm gonna step out the room.
On some power shit.
He's like, I don't feel like I'm selfish right now.
Right. You press the space bar, I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
He did vouch for himself. He said, damn, I want to cheat on my man. I don't want to do that, man. I don't want to do that. I'm gonna wait for him.
But he act like Ray Charles a little. He's like,
I don't know.
Nah, man, yeah, I've been seeing a lot of movement, bro. Like, seeing a lot of movement, man. Like, and I think it's something that people don't talk about a lot, man. It's like your videography, man.
Yeah.
Like, Q, yo, that boy active, man. Like, he's everywhere, man. Like, every time I see this man, he's putting in some work. You guys are moving, man. Like, it's dope as hell. But Q, talk to us a little bit about your process when you go into, doing your videos and everything like that.
Well, first we discuss everything first. Like we get the blueprint down first, and then I come to him, Kaimo, like, yo, so give me your input, cause I'm a one-man wrecking crew, so sometimes I need that extra help. Like, yo, what you got in your end? What do you? Cause this is yours. So
Right.
What do you like? He'd be like, man, bro, listen.
Nah,
you know me.
Don't lie, he be like Kanye.
Huh?
You ain't got the answers, kid. You ain't got the answers. I need my sweater show.
Like, how my part look? My part good?
But the whole process it's not. It comes naturally now because we've been doing it for so long. From the beginning when he brought me into it, it's just natural now. Like, I know what you want before you even say I know what you want now. So now
just like Cootie and Kanye.
Yeah,
he know exactly what's going on. I'm gonna bring that part up because, like I said, it's kind of fresh in our mind right now. But I feel like that's what happens.
Don't spoil it for me. I ain't see it.
Nigga said you ain't seen it. What?
Nah, me
the biggest Kanye fan there is.
Yeah.
Sometimes I say something. But when I did see that. Not to cut you off, but when I did see that, I was beating him to watch it because I saw that story. I'm like, yo, that's our story. Because if you seen the beginning of my career, always been me, Quinn Films. always.
Right.
You got to see me document everything, and that's all I ever wanted to do was document everything.
Right.
And for you, like, you ever hear dudes from back in the day, like, yeah, I did a show, he was doing so and that, but nobody saw it.
Right.
We document everything.
Everything.
So you get to see it and just, get inspired off it. You know what I mean? So 20 years down the line, or 4 or 5 years down the line, when we, things really get moving, people's gonna, be like, wow, let's duplicate that. And that's gonna be a trend where, artists are just gonna document everything. Them in the studio.
And other people gonna be like, oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know they was doing.
Make the value
that's
shit a little bit different.
Yeah,
Make the value shit a little bit different. Like you said, if you just see that backstory, like I said, like we look at Kanye, right, and we like think how crazy he is. Like, yeah, like crazy. Like why he always cursing somebody out? And you realize he cursing niggas out because he really don't fuck with them because they didn't fuck with him coming up.
Exactly.
Like mad niggas has shunned him off. Like yeah, whatever, nigga, go and do a beat. I heard that shit mad times through the documentary. Like niggas. And then you have people that I don't like. Well, not that I don't like him, but I feel like I don't like his personality. Like Wayne though, that was on Everyday Struggle. Mm-hmm. Through the mix of Kanye, they releasing this documentary. He's like, nah, like I don't fuck with that because he was there every day doing that shit because he was playing his music every day. Yeah. He want niggas to hear that. What the fuck y'all doing? Wayne? Yeah, he said, oh no, I was in the building. Yeah. I was in the building. I'm like, I get you, but. This dude, it's his dream, bro. How you gonna sell somebody short about their dream, bro? Yeah, if he's knocking on that door every single day, somebody gonna answer. Somebody did. Niggas like Pharrell who came up and was like, yo, this nigga's dope. Most Def and all them guys. He's dope. Exactly. So he wanted it more than anybody else wanted it. And he was willing to put himself on the line every day about it. And I see that shit in y'all. I see y'all niggas making the strides every day to do that. Like, let's say, shooting videos. I know sometimes niggas don't feel like shooting a video.
Like on this Instagram, you do everything. You do parties, you do commercials, you do everything except for porn.
Niggas,
you ain't gonna direct the porn. You
got your first model right here. Call him Big Nasty. Niggas doing African swat on kids like baby boy. I know what kind of time he be on. Your boy's a freak boy. He's a freak boy. He be getting it.
Call that episode Big Boy Massacre.
He's already thinking about it.
Right. It's like crazy as hell. We got some shit in the works. Coming soon. Playboy. Advertisers gonna be in studios soon.
Yeah, man.
It's gonna be a rip-off. But let's talk about Nas a little bit. How did Nas get involved in the team and everything like that?
Nas and my little brother, they got their own thing going on. They're part of Lord Entertainment, but they got their own little thing called Cornerstone Mafia. You know what I mean? And Cuz just always was around. Him and my brother, they come to every show, they come to every shoot, they come to just anything basically music, like they're around. So I said, you know what, let's build something, and Cuz actually thought of the name Cornerstone Mafia. You know what I mean? So that told me where his heart and mind was at, and really wanting to be a part of this. Because you could tell somebody to do something, but do they really want it? Yeah. And Cuz got that want, because he'll call me sometimes and say, yo, you watch this interview? You watch that? And usually I'm doing that with everybody, but he plugging me in on, you know what I mean, on stuff like that. Pause. You know what I mean?
I'm surprised your boy ain't catching.
He's cooking over there. Fried chicken.
That loud pat. That shit is different over there.
You know what I mean? But he calling me and checking me and say, yo, you watch this interview and whatnot, and that's what I mean. Yeah, and he's real self-motivated, and you really can't teach nobody to be self-motivated. You know what I mean?
You gotta have it or you don't.
Yeah, straight up. You know what I mean?
So now tell us about yourself, man. Talk. What's going on? Your time to shine, big dog. You know what I mean? He tried to choke me out early before we came in. He was telling somebody else. Put me in the headlock and shit. Nigga, you need to fix it. Baby boy.
He been doing music since forever. Since that's my big cousin. That's like my big brother. But he been doing music since he was 15, 16. When Maserati Blessed, that was his first name.
Maserati Blessed.
Those are his first rap names. So
He tried to put that shit in the closet and never bring it back out. He ain't say nothing to it. What? I mean,
I wasn't into the music like when he used to doing it. I mean, I was always supporting him there, whatever he needed, I was always there, but I really wasn't like hands on with everything.
Right.
Until recently, but and I remember he used to. I played baseball. I went to college a bit, D1, played baseball, all that stuff. So when I was in school, batting average.
What was your last batting average?
I don't know. You gotta Google it.
I'm ready for the numbers.
That was crazy. He was tough.
Google it. Google.
He was tough. You see that man calves?
No, for my final batting
You see that man kick your fucking face off. I know he can bat.
I mean, high school, I was all state, all county, all tri-state. College, I was first team all conference, first team Mid Atlantic, all region. Like I was. I mean, Google me. That's all I gotta say. Like,
oh, okay.
That's the baseball guy over there. That's the baseball guy over there.
That nigga said D1 and the me was go, alright, word. Yeah, change the topic, nigga, because that nigga, he made it at that point.
That's the same when he said Mid-Atlantic, I ain't never heard of Mid-Atlantic. What the fuck is that? I ain't county.
Like, yo, man, get that. I'm like,
what part of the world is that?
like all HBCU.
That's the thing, nigga. Wait, that's everything I wanted to accomplish. I can't even. Don't worry about it.
I had all HBCU honors. I went to HBCU, so
Stop playing.
yeah. So
Which one? Were you went to Hampton?
No, I went to Coppin in Baltimore.
I was a walk-on.
Our rivals Morgan. I mean, Morgan don't have a baseball team, but we like Morgan on the east side, we on the west side. So.
Oh, that's your boy. Nigga said he was a walk-on.
I was walking on right there. I had to show him I was
not
not.
to mention he didn't make it. Nigga, excuse me, came back home. Yeah, Marty said my grades wasn't good enough.
You know the family when they racist. Come on, Claire, man, come on.
You know what happened. That's why I ain't making my fault.
But then last year, I mean, he always like used to put it in my ear like, yo, how you should get on, like, yo, we're doing this. You can just do little things, you know. So I would always take heed to it. But then eventually, like last year, fall, that's when really stuff started to kick off. And he like, yo, if you want to do this or help, invest or put money here or just come here or help me with this, whatever. So I started more hands-on. And then Paul, his manager.
Yo, shout out to Paul, man. He's supposed to be here, man.
Yeah.
We shot with him. Paul been ducking and diving for 3 weeks now. So he was gonna kick in.
So even before getting down with Paul and Lord and all that, I used to come. I'm like, yo, we gotta create something. Like I was like, you know how like Fat Joe, they got Terror Squad, 50 at G Unit, they got Rough Riders, like something like that. And I was just like. For a few weeks, I'm trying to come up with names, like just keep trying to.
You notice you named all the squads that that's with the action.
Yeah, so I'm like, you see how they got their own squads, like I'm like, so I kept, and I'm like corner of the world, so I'm like, I just kept like playing around with them, so I'm like, all right, Cornerstone Mafia, and then I told him, he was like, boy, like I love it, that's the one, that should ring perfect. So then, told him that he loved it, everybody loved the name, and then we just ran with it, and then I got down with Paul and doing marketing and doing like starting to learn everything about being a tour manager and all that stuff. So
that's dope as hell, man.
And nothing better than having family around you.
That's
you know what I mean?
And show them how to eat.
And I showed them the way. You know what I mean? I can't keep expressing that. Like I've been doing that a long time already.
Now that's one thing. He gonna give you an opportunity. It's up to you what you do with it. And he gonna push you, even if he see like you on some bullshit, and like he gonna keep pushing, like, cause he see more than what you see in yourself a lot of the time.
I got a question for all y'all though. What y'all say to people that think they say you can't do business with family? What y'all say to that? That's for all y'all.
I agree and disagree.
Question is what again? Say it again.
He fried.
He fried.
I agree.
Not to mention what we got in this bitch's tea.
Now they say you can't do business with family. There's a lot of people out there that believe that.
I agree and disagree with it.
I agree. I agree with that.
Because a lot of people feel like they obligated. Like there's a lot of family that feel like they obligated, or especially when money come into it, like that can ruin a lot of stuff, and they feel obligated to what you're doing, your goals, your dreams, stuff like that. Then you got your ones that genuinely. So I feel like it's like a 50-50 on it.
If it It's not bad. You gotta have the right people in order, right people in line. When you start getting a lot of people just because they're family involved, it don't work like that. You gotta get the right people, and the one that do take control, you gotta be one of the ones that get up the earliest, go to bed the latest, and push the hardest for the team and
actually see
get
that
structured
vision.
and see that vision. Then everybody else is gonna fall in line, because none of this will be happening for me, you know, if I didn't work hard and really show them like, yo, I'm doing this by myself. If y'all come, we do this a lot easier. You know what I mean? And get this thing structured the right way. You know what I mean? And a lot of these dudes that are my friends that are part of it, somebody somehow turn into family as a quit.
Right.
You know what I mean? His mom see me as a nephew, his father the same way, my parents see him the same way too. You know what I mean? So he's the godfather of my daughter. You know what I mean? So he's family. You know what I mean?
My
So
mother couldn't stand
that's
none of
great
my
honor.
friends.
you know,
You might say none of your friends.
and sometimes it happens that way because your parents see who people are before you do. You know what
They
I
see
mean?
the real. It seems like they definitely see the real.
You know what I mean? Because they've been through it. You gotta understand, people that are 50 years old, they seen 25. We ain't seen 25 yet. For some people, you know, and we're older than that now, but people made it to 60 for a reason.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? That's how you always have, and that's the way you gotta see it. You know, a lot changed for me. You know what I mean? Friend wise and stuff like that, because you know some people don't see the vision. And one thing my mother told me is that sometimes your friends who you were at 16 ain't gonna be your friends at 26, at 30. You know what I mean? And sometimes you just gotta accept that and move on and move with the people you are moving with currently, because that could slow you up if you still worry about them. And like I keep my team, one thing I tell my team and keep them, you know, I'm real structured, I'm disciplined, you know, so the main goal is, you know, spend time with your family, make sure you get up and go to work and do what you gotta do to provide, and we focus on our brand.
This shit militant.
You know what I mean?
One thing he will check you. Like if you're not moving right, like it don't matter. He'll check himself. He's not like he's bigger than. He don't feel like he's bigger than. Like if he feel he not moving right, and we see that, we can come to him and like check him. Like we all check each other. Like
it's open door policy. For sure. Open door policy.
Niggas moving like the Nation of Islam.
That's a fact.
Like it's like Mafia, like structure.
It's structure. Like I said, when you have that core structure, it works. Now to answer your question, you know what I mean? Like, do I think I have to agree with Kaimo. It's about the right people.
You gotta look at people.
You know what I mean? You gotta realize, like, family is family. They're always gonna win when you win it for the most part. You know what I mean? But at the same time, not everybody should be involved in everything. You understand? Some people are the muscle.
Yeah.
And I know fact. If I bring him with me, he gonna pack somebody the fuck out, and that's that's my security.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna put him in the financial department.
No, you can't.
He don't need to be there.
But he pack out, he gonna want that money too though.
But once again, he's getting paid, but he's not in the financial department. He ain't about to be my secretary. He ain't about to be doing the books. Fuck no. Cause I know I can't beat him. I see what he's doing there.
You know their strengths is their weaknesses. Gonna put them where they fit perfectly.
You focus everything and everybody. You know what I mean? I got nieces and nephews who's like who go getters. Okay, cool. Then y'all might be a tour manager because you a go getter. You might be my mark because you a go getter. You gonna get me those good fucking shows. You know what I mean? So you can put people in places. So I think you can do business with family. It's about how you orchestrate it and how you manage that situation. You know what I mean? And like I said, at the end of the day, like nobody's bigger than another one.
True.
Nobody's bigger than another one. When you got that one cousin who feel like he's better than everybody. Nah, I ain't going. But y'all go.
But it's that we all got that one family member that we tend to all look up to.
100%.
And like, you know, that is a structured one.
Right.
So if he do set something up and says, yo, I'm gonna help you, we gonna do it like this and like that, and we gonna make this work.
Right.
9 times out of 10, people gonna jump on board. You know what I mean? I think this interview is so important because you're hearing it more than from my mouth. You hear it from everybody else as a part of the team. You know what I mean? So I think it's a lot meaningful, this interview.
Yeah, this ain't scripted either. He ain't hold these niggas to the side like, you better say this, you better
Nah,
say
for real, this shit ain't
This shit just, you know what I'm
This
saying?
shit, we go how we go.
Yeah.
So, Kim, what do you think about family? Family.
Well, they said it.
Oh, you went?
Yeah.
You
I
went?
said 100%.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Then. We rocking it. You know what I mean? But for me, like I said, you know, I think it's about, like I said, it's how people view things. That's what it comes down to, you know what I mean? But I see how you guys looking at it, and it's brand militant. And it's funny because a lot of things are successful because of that.
Yeah.
Sometimes we try to lead with love, and they always talk about that lead with love. You want to lead with love, but you got to have some type of authority at the end of the day, because then everybody go this way and that way. And I think sometimes I look back and I think about like the ASAP mob. They came to Militant, And then everybody got lax, and everybody started falling apart. He started going over there, and he started going over there. And even the head of the dragon just was like, I'm with the fashion. So, hey, y'all gonna do music, y'all get ahead.
The head of the dragon passed away. That's where everybody got confused up.
And this is one of the illest things, right? Because how Josh came on board, because I know Josh was pretty new. Y'all all met Josh, right? So Josh basically called me one day. He was a childhood friend. I always knew Josh. And he called me because he was working with other artists or whatever too. But it wasn't right how he was moving. So he called me. He said, yo, come on. He called me Malk, because you know my real name, Malcolm. So he called me, yo, Malk, yo, how much you charge for a verse? Anybody, you call anybody would just juice, knowing that he works a trunking job, you know what type of job he has. Anybody would juice him. Will say, you know what? You know, you calling me 800, 10, give me a
easy.
You know what I mean? If you calling me and you need a feature, I say, you know what, Josh? Let me teach you the business. Let's actually learn the business, so you're just not splurging money. You actually know the value of your dollar and how it's getting spent and where it's getting spent.
Josh trying to get in the booth for?
No. He was working. He had another artist that he was trying to work with, you know. And I said, you know what, Josh? We got our foot on the pedal and how we moving, and we can only get stronger. And so my main thing was like, build a team and build everything, and everybody gather as much information they could gather for their own brand.
Right.
So then they could start making their own money and, you know, building their brand and building their catalogs and stuff like that. And that's always been my main goal, to have everybody build something and see part of the world and inspire themselves so they can go work with others. But they know what they're talking about, because they're bosses in the room. And that's what all I ever wanted to do, is create individual bosses. Right. You know what I mean? They'll tell you, I don't take nothing off nobody's plate. Quinn could get paid $1,000, $1,200 for a video. I don't touch nothing.
I need that 3% fine.
You know, you know what I mean? Off top. But that's how some people bring. But I never thought like that. I always thought about giving my people opportunity, because where I'm from, we don't have that
opportunity.
And we don't have. I always look at dudes at Harlem, and Harlem and stuff like that. And I use, somebody as an example, like me and this artist performed at the same venue. And guess what? Since he's from Harlem, he did songs with Jim Jones. He did songs with Jada Kids. He got on features. He met J. Cole. He got on tour with Benny the Butchers. And we performed at the same time, at the same place. And we're doing the same thing. Right. But why he's getting this and that? Because not saying he ain't working hard. He's working hard. But also you got these big name dudes is, oh, you from my town? My city don't have that. So that's what I'm trying to create. Right. He's one of the top camera guys in my city. He's the top. There's only 3 or 4. But Queen is on top of the food chain. My city don't have a label. Corner of the World is a label.
That's dope.
You know what I mean? And there's not a lot of DJs in my city. There's a couple. Right. There's not a lot of DJs. There's not a lot of graphic designers. But everybody want to be an MC, not even an MC, a rapper. You know what I mean? And there's no substance behind it. They just want to rap. And I don't want to see people get, at the end of the day, get a fucked up deal, fucked up contract because they don't know the business. And that's how I'm conducting myself and conducting the team. So when these dudes run into these people, they know my team know what they're talking about, to give these dudes game, and that's giving them hope and giving them structure. So that's why a lot of the upcoming artists look up the things that we're doing. You know what I mean? Because that's all we want to do is help.
I need to have a consultant branch to this motherfucker. With these niggas, man. Niggas is definitely signing bad contracts still.
Yeah.
I mean, because I think when you talk about bad contracts, I think a lot of times is like you talk to, when the label bring $1 million up to you, you sit at $1 million, you don't see it, the management, you don't see the tour, you don't see the back end, you end up with $250,000 as opposed to $1 million. You know what I mean? So I think that comes back, and that stems back to just financial literacy in itself.
And that's what I'm preaching to, because we gaining more out of this. Because guess what? Every project a label probably heard of me, or a song they heard of me, it was recorded in my room. La Cosa Nostra was recorded. That's the only project I wanted to record it outside, so I could give y'all a documentary feel.
You can't tell them niggas that, because that budget gonna be the same as your bedroom.
But
in a huge studio, you know what I'm saying?
But it's just that real. You know what I mean? That everything was in house. Even with Quentin Films, they look at the production and they look at the visuals, how it's getting done, and like, yo, this is how much he spent for. I ain't gonna tell you how much I spent, but you know what I mean. Just know, we spent a lot of money. You know what I mean? We spent money. This is all in house what we built,
and it's crazy like you said, because that bucket affects everybody, right? So when you come in that room, and we talked about it before, and we talked about it a lot, and we was trying to talk about it in the last episode. What's how you come to that table and you like, look, like honestly, I just need distribution.
No.
Like when that cash come in and they want to, we gotta pay you to do the video. We gotta pay who? Yeah, it's on him. It's not going to them.
That's something. That's one of the illest things they don't gotta know, right? Because I said this for instance, like I did a Tommy Hilfiger shoot, right? Not meaning that it was gonna be for Tommy Hilfiger, but Tommy Hilfiger ended up liking the post. So that's dope, right? So I use this as an example, right? Tommy could like the pitch, he could like the campaign, but we got a situation right now where somebody liked the campaign we did for Sneaker Studio, right? So I'm not gonna say the brand because it's big, you know, and when it happens, it happens. People gonna see it. Huh?
If I guess you're gonna say
Nah,
not really. You know what I mean?
He about to be here. He about to be every fucking season. So I know Theodora looking for.
So they saw what we did. You know what I mean? And it's like people could say, "Yo, can y'all duplicate that? And can we give y'all a budget? How much was it to make it or whatever?" And the whole time, me and Quinn like, all right, cool. It was 30,000. You know, I ain't gonna make it look real nice.
You want it real nice.
You know what I mean?
The whole hood out there.
You know what I mean?
All out there.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, lots of niggas
whole
too that
time,
day.
it was, you know, we just did it. You know what I mean? And that's what usually can happen. So people really gotta just, you know, really build and hurt.
But I do have empathy for the niggas and sympathy for the niggas that do get fucked over though.
Yeah.
Because you got to think about it, right? These young niggas from, you know, urban neighborhoods, right? Niggas probably sleeping on somebody's floor.
Yeah. And I don't get mad.
Nothing going on for them. When you offer that $1 million, bro, you're not looking at what's
I said, nah, I need that money.
No
my family
nothing.
hungry. My family hungry.
Yeah.
I'm hungry. If I can do this to change my life, I'm gonna change my life.
And it's structured that way too, purposely.
Yeah. But no, there's no. Jadakiss said it. There's no such thing as a great deal. You're never gonna get the record deal you want, you know, unless you're independent. But when you're independent, you really people say, yo, I'm independent, but they don't know actually how much money we're putting behind this. As in, everybody that's part of Corner invests into this. And before we even gained anything. You know what I mean? It's with tax write-off purposes and everything that we do, you know what I mean? And that how much we invest into this, but that don't stop because we know we're close, and just
it's there, man.
You know what I mean? And that's the
mindset.
That's the mindset, right? Because people could say, "Yo, y'all killing it," but I'm not satisfied. Once we left the Conway thing, I went back to the hotel and we started recording. We started working.
We're gonna definitely get into that.
You know what I mean?
We gotta get into that, man. This man gonna tour with Conway, man. He ain't about to just skip past that. Like that shit didn't just happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like for some people, that's an amazing accomplishment. And like I said, like when we first did our first episode with you, like I remember we talked and we sat down and everything, and it's crazy because you had sent us an email way before I even seen it. Like I think it was like a month before I even seen it. Having to go back and I'm like, oh shit! Like he called my cousin like, yo, this was going on, and we sat down and he was like, yeah, bro, I think I'm about to retire. Like I don't think I'm moving and shit. And then it was like, what? What we just heard? And you talking about ending that? Like it was amazing because like I said, you don't see people well versed like that, you know what I mean? Like the music coming out so pure, you know what I mean? The videos are so pure, you know what I mean? The movements are so pure, you know, and it's only getting better, you know, and it was like, damn, why would he think about, you know what I mean, retiring? And you realize, like I said, sometimes the vision is there, but everything else around it sometimes get a little blurry. So what do you think really clicked in your head to really keep this going and make it stronger?
Once again, remember when I said I changed my name because I was out? I don't know if you ever told you guys. I was sold American Dream. I felt like giving up in 2018. But I changed my name because I didn't understand. I thought I was going through a depression. I wanted to quit, but I was outgrowing myself. Right? So I said, yo, it's time for me to throw to a different dynamic. So when I did the Notorious Way, I tend to work with a lot of artists that was in my city.
Right.
All them artists are from my city, basically.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or from around the way. You know, so after the album, it was real hectic, you know, trying to get things together. You know what I mean? And it was just real stressful, you know what I mean? Like, everybody could congratulate, and people don't know sometimes your best work as an artist, you're going through the worst of times. Life.
I agree.
You know what I mean? So, like, it was a lot I was dealing with, like, with my daughter being born. Like, she was a premature baby. Wifey was in the hospital every other day. You know what I mean? Like, he'll tell you, like, of course, I work a job, I work with him. I will leave work every other day, having to leave work. You know what I mean? And it was real stressful being the only income and stuff like that, taking care of a whole household. You know what I mean? So it was real hectic for me, you know, and dealing with like other stresses, you know what I mean? Where
life stresses
and feeling like, yo, the music is, everybody's saying it's dope, but we should be bigger than what we are, bro.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, we should be bigger. What is going on? Why? And then just being on top of things, you know, that when I feel like, you know, I built this team for a reason. Why are we not doing what we're supposed to be doing, you know, at the time, you know what I mean? And it was a lot for us because it was only 1, 2, and then Poe came a little bit after. He came back into the picture, you know what I mean? For Notorious Way. So then, you know, we talked to Josh, got the visuals done and said, yo, you know what? I'm going through a whole new thing. Zamaya's already a year old.
Right.
I'm ready for a new project.
It's game time.
I'm ready. Yeah, lock in. And, you know, and we brought Josh along, and it just shaped everything, you know what I mean? To get things like, all right, we're structured. We're more structured now. You know what I mean? I got more confidence. We got Josh around, you know what I mean? Poe and Josh are the two managers, and it's Lord Entertainment. All right, Quentin, you the film guy, boom. This is before we added my brother and Nas. You know what I mean? So as this all
crazy,
so as all this was going, you know what I mean? It was even getting like, all right, stuff is booming and everything is moving, and you know, it just said, all right, yo, I'm here. I started working with people outside of my city, you know what I mean? Different states around the world, you know? And the vision I had for La Cosa Nostra was going to prepare me for where I'm at today. And that was one of the illest things.
I knew Lord was a different nigga when he was talking about bringing his dog on when you perform.
What?
When you perform for Conway?
Yeah.
Nigga was like, yeah, I should have brought my dog.
Yeah.
We done cleared the fucking club with that shit, man.
Black turtle with a dog, like Martin at that bitch. Yeah. Not to mention something big. Son to choke you out for sure. Yeah. Like, imagine that man walking in with a dog, B. Yeah. And it's funny because I wanted to be there so bad, man. Like, XD, that's all I kept talking about. Like, yo, we about to get, bro. I'm driving my company car out there, bro. We out here. We ain't paying for gas or nothing. We out here. Yeah. And then COVID happened. I said, man, this is bullshit. Man, this is some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't make it, but man, I swear, man, that was the worst night of my life. I'm like, damn, bro. Just when you get everything, you know, you miss one of the big shows.
We had a plan.
Like, we had so many plans for that. So it was like, you know what I mean? So that's why I definitely like had to FaceTime you guys and see what's up, what's going on and everything. But man, like overall, how was that experience to be in a room with somebody who we deem as that made it, bro? Like, how did that feel?
I felt like I was like, it's just a confidence thing, bro. Like, I'm supposed to be where
I got you. I knew that was coming.
Like I felt that. I'm so humble. Like I'm humble, man. And I just got tired of watching like all these other, you know, acts. Like I'm just waiting. Like I'm not supposed to be here.
Niggas is trash too.
You know,
niggas ain't saying that. That was Batman.
But like for real though. Like I'm too, you know, I've been through the development stage already. Yeah. A lot of people still going through that.
It's a nice way to put it.
You know what I mean? You know, like I've been.
I was watching videos and the stage presence was like, damn. Like. I'm just like, wow, this shit is like really amazing. You can tell the difference in people, you know what I mean? The difference in focus and everything. But from the team, you know what I mean, Nas and Q, how did that feel for y'all seeing y'all boy up there? Like, and y'all know what he capable of. But to look at him and be like, yo, this man just rocked the same stage as somebody that we deem as made it. How did y'all feel like to see that shit?
I mean, I wasn't really surprised. It's like, we work for this.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, obviously you happy for him, right? But it's like, all right, like this is what you wanted. It's here now, so get to it. It's like, so that's pretty much how it was for me. It's like he's supposed to be here. So
yeah, that's it. Word.
Yeah.
I've been to every show from start to then.
Yeah, pretty much.
So it's like, bro, before the show even started, I said, dog, you already know this is me speaking. You gonna be better than every artist that's up there. You gonna be better than the main event.
Yeah.
You're going to, because we already did something where it was the main event. He came, once he was done, everybody in the club left with us. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, this is the thing that really is that bothers is like, damn, yo, I understand we just did this. Look what we about to go back to.
For real.
We're not satisfied.
So it's still time to grind.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong though, because like my whole viewpoint, my whole vantage point was like, I'm like, you was early to the show, right? Yeah. And like you said, you humble. Like you watched every act, bro. You watched because you can still learn. Mm-hmm. It's always something you can learn, right? It's always something you can take from it. Were you still learning at that point? Like you was like, yo.
I was just honestly there because I wanted we wanted to see Conway. You know what I mean? And just see who gonna run into us and say, yo, I saw your show and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because at that point, we coming from where we come from. You know what I mean? I'm not really there to make more friends. I'm trying to see the business at. With a business who I can shake hands with, who's who. You know what I mean? And me and the team, that's how we structure ourselves. Because we brought the studio to the hotel. So that tells you right there we're going to be there for business. You know what I mean? And we're not even sleeping there. Like, we literally took a cat nap. We came back 4 or 5 in the morning and we left at 7. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it's just like that.
And in between that time, we still got the song done, visual done. Just got the show.
Boys are still working.
We was
If there was any of that shit you played me today, we gotta book that same hotel.
We need that shit immediately. We need that now. But not like me sitting there and me seeing that, you know what I mean, and hearing all the things and seeing how you guys moving. For me, I'm just like, yo, like for me, I'm just proud. Like, you know what I mean, to see people that we know say they're gonna do something and they do it and surpass the expectations even themselves. Like, I know you're supposed to be there. I'm looking at the stage like I know he's supposed to be there. But the fact of the matter is like now we're gonna do this on a bigger stage now. Now the world looking. Before it was like the locals was looking. Now the world looking. And I'm like, now you really get to see what this shit really is and really what somebody's made of. And then you come back and you look at it, this man humble. Did a song in it. That shows what kind of person he is. He could have been satisfied, all right, cool, we're going to just roll off this. This man got another single out, got some more work coming out, got some more visuals coming out, got additions to the team.
And this shit get stronger. This is what tells you too, like what artists from Jersey will really do that. I opened up for Conway and I still brought out Malcolm.
Facts.
That shit war.
Now, I'm just saying, like, think about it. People with that type of, and shout out my dude, shout out to Malcolm. That's what I mean, 94 too, that's my dog. How many people, we got a project coming out together too.
Oh, this nigga, slide that nigga. Hey, that's so. I'm saying Malcolm versus Malcolm. I mean, look, man, just put me on a skit, bro.
You know, so
I'm gonna be a fiend from Patterson. Patterson, because they out there. I'm telling you, they out there. I seen it. Got some good ass empanadas though. What's the name of that spot? The little gas station shit, the Delta. That shit is amazing. They carry on. It's just amazing, nigga.
Like, how many people will have a big platform like that and give somebody else an opportunity to rock out? You know what I mean?
Like, dope lyrics is coming up too.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, who would really do that? Nobody even do that for me. You know what I mean? I've been around a lot of dudes that had the opportunity to bring me around certain people, and they bring me around who they want to bring me around.
But do you think it's because of the fact, like, why do you think that happens? Like,
well, if you seen the Kanye thing, think about it. How No ID was doing. You know, sometimes you come around. Sometimes that light shining on him, and it starts to fade away because there's too much light shining.
I can break it down to intimidation. That's what it is.
I think it's sometimes
I'm breaking it down to that.
Or I always say sometimes I feel like people ain't as structured as they think they are, or they say they are. Like somebody come, yo, bro, I'm rocking right now. but they don't have that confidence that you got.
Well, nobody was shitting on Kanye.
So it was more so like, you know how Kanye is, right? So Kanye speak real shit. If he feel like you had more to do with like inspiring me, like look, this guy inspired me. You was there, but he inspired me a little bit more. So he was speaking on him. He was speaking on, who was he speaking on first?
Infinite.
Right, he was speaking like, yo, like dude was really like, he's one of my inspirations. And he wasn't speaking on No ID as much. And then No ID came out and was like, nah, like put a diss record out and everything. It was like, nah, this nigga wild. Like, it's me. You know what I mean? And there's like a lot of different things. But like I said, sometimes I feel like some people ain't as structured as they say they are, or not as, they haven't made it. So they still trying to find their light. So they're not going to bring somebody who I think, I'm sorry, but when somebody is it, you know that person is it.
Yeah.
Kind of walk in a room of rappers.
Energy different.
I don't, this nigga bring a full team. He got a camera. He got lights. A nigga with a dog. Like, who the fuck? You know what I mean?
But they be so worried about that the next person or that person being bigger than them,
and that's
instead of just seeing it as we both gonna win at the end of the day. But they don't see it as that.
They know
it's a selfish reason. They know in their heart, nah, this dude got it. He gonna be bigger than me. They don't want to accept that.
But sometimes it ain't as like it ain't as malicious as that. Sometimes it's just like, yo, it's my time. I just want to shine. Like, and I know his turn is coming. I need to get mine real quick. No. And sometimes, and then you have the people who just malicious.
Yeah, there's people that are purposely
like, look, bro, I don't care. This
do something,
fire,
hold you back, and keep you tough. Like they're
Kanye, we gonna keep bringing him up because he's here.
Yeah.
The nigga I didn't know how many beats this nigga made. Yeah. When he said on Spaceships, imagine locking yourself in a room for making 5 beats a day for 3 summers. I was like, Kanye, you fucking lying, and didn't realize how much music he had actually put out. He was producing underground shit. Mainstream shit, niggas that shit never came out.
Trying to get your name out there.
They'll tell you the same thing. That's why that Kanye thing is so inspirational, because they'll tell you themselves how much unreleased music I have that I had to settle for an EP right now. Yeah. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, like unreleased music where you seen I damn near shot a video for almost every song in Notorious Way on the Costa Nostra. I said, damn, we shoot 4 or 5. You know what I mean? We shoot 4 or 5 because you know why? 2022, I want to drop 3 projects. That's I want to drop 3. Usually I drop it once a year. This year I want to do 3. I want to do 3 different things.
Buckle up,
you know what I mean?
I'm surprised. You know something new I've been thinking about for a while, man.
What's up?
You should rap over some reggaeton beat.
But this is the like important, right? To Omenta story, right? If you see me in that picture on my gram, I throw up the Dominican flag, right? I'm half Dominican, right? So you're gonna really understand the essence of this EP, where I'm bringing you, like, when we think of the West Coast, right? You look at the TDE movement within their videos. You see substance. You see Chuck Taylors. You see white tees. You see Dickie pants. You know what I mean? You just see substance, right? East Coast music on the East Side tip, we know get really none of that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like you really see you see Timberlands, but it's not really what else in depth. You know? So what's in an East Coast type of a substance? Bodega stores, Yankees, you know what I mean? Corner store sandwiches, Chinese food, chicken stores, you know what I mean? Chicken shacks, you know what I mean?
You mean?
You know what I mean?
What is this? That's the best chicken in the world right there. You can go get some of those.
You feel me? Walking out the store with a piece of spinning on fire verse, you know what I mean? So that's the substance we're giving people with the new EP and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Really showcasing that. And like one of the illest thing about Go BBS is that my little man is gonna play the
new single.
Yeah, new single Go BBS is March 4th. You know what I mean? So we got my little man really he's gonna star in this, my little man Josh, my son, you know, and the illest thing is like we got him spray painting a bike gold, the rims gold. You know what I mean? And us as inspiration is what? We saw people doing other things that we wanted to do it. What we used to do with the quarter juices. Put them on the back of our bike.
Dirt bike?
Sound like a dirt bike.
You know what I mean? Down the street.
So,
tires fucked up.
But that was like a real inspiration to us, you know. And that's what I'm giving everybody on Omenta too, really East side of things. That's why it's called a Mental East Side story.
I'm happy you came and said that because we pronounced that shit completely wrong. We niggas said Omaha some shit. Omaha, we said some rap. He was like, this is Dominican shit. I know. It nothing to do with that at all. Nigga came and was like, bro, this how you pronounce it? We like, oh shit, we was way off. Way off. Way off. And that's dope, man. Like I said, like getting back to the essence and like really hitting home. Because I feel like you said, like, I'm be honest, like I was.
Over it though, man.
What?
You need a reggaeton beat. You gonna rap over a reggaeton beat?
Yeah. I'm about to say, I don't know what you're doing, but niggas got curly kids going right now. I don't know what's up. They going to the nigga accent about to come out. Hey, give it up. Wait a minute. Nigga, what's going on?
Okay, mama.
Get okay. Está bien. So I don't know what's going on, but it's dope, man, to get back to the essence and really bring back like some of the dopest shit. Like what we grew up on, I feel like we was like the last dopest like generation, man, to really see Gold BBS and see what that shit meant and know what it meant. You know what I mean? When you came out with the Unpredictable video, you sitting in a car. And the shit is old school. You know, that's something that one of the older niggas would have had back in the day. We running around 4 or 5 years old and seeing that shit was like, wow.
A lot of niggas in North got fake BBS and still ain't
Oh, you talking
I
about?
didn't know that shit actually
You talking about
Soul Money Mitch?
Soul Money.
That was Soul Money Mitch. That wasn't Unpredictable.
That's Soul Money.
With the chick.
That's Soul Money.
So the crazy thing about Unpredictable is that we was trying to shoot this visual. We was trying so much to shoot a lot of these visuals for La Cosa Nostra, but the thing is we were so busy on, you know, we having interviews, shows, pandemic restrictions. So it was so hard for us to shoot certain style of videos that we wanted to shoot that were different. So that's why when you see the Port of Miami's daughters, you see a lot of pictures in these visuals because I wanted to give you, you know, who sparked the inspirations for me. Definitely if you see Port of Miami, you see my grandfathers, my uncles, my father, a lot in that video. You know what I mean? Daughters, you of course see my daughter, family oriented, man, you know what I mean? And within Cuban Link, you saw, you know, me really connect, how the whole city in Cuban Link, basically I said, we're all connected like a Cuban Link. You see in cuts, you see the kids, you see people balling, like, I know most of them people in that video, I know all of them, most of them. From the kids in there, I know them. Like, they see me, now like they didn't know me. You know what I mean? Even the dudes in the park. So we're all connected in some way.
Think about it, I've never seen a nigga get a Cuban link snatched either. Them shit strong in the motherfucker.
Yeah. And once you break,
your neck might break.
And if you do break it, you know what I mean? It'll never be the same.
Oh no, it wouldn't.
So that's, you know, it's that deep, you know.
And to switch gears a little bit, man. I think that's really cool, man, because I know a lot of your terminology is like Mafia stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like, give me top 5 Mafia movies of all time, bro.
Bronx Tale, Goodfellas, Casino.
He knew that shit. What? You told him about this some shit? Because how the fuck he just got on full and he's like,
Bronx Tale, Goodfellas, Casino. What else I watch?
Bro, they got American Gangster.
What else? That's, I don't really, it's not.
Black Mafia, man.
Yeah. Well, we be talking like that, like.
I mean, in general, so
like gangster movies or like.
Well, let's say gangster movie, and I'm gonna do all 3 of y'all, all 3 of y'all.
Damn, American Gangster was dope. Very dope.
We consider
that's rap. That's rap.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. But it was a great fucking bio.
Paid in Full.
Okay.
Paid in Full.
2 trying to come out. I don't want to do that again.
2 is not about. So that's the thing. It's not.
New Jack City.
That's a good one.
Nah, Paid in Full. Scarface.
Never watched Scarface.
You never watched Scarface?
Wow.
Scarface.
It's alright.
That's hard.
Yeah.
Never watched that.
When you watch it, just don't.
Damn,
there's a couple.
You got The Irishman. That was really
The Irishman was cool, but it wasn't real.
Oh, it wasn't real? No, I think he was right there.
That man did his research.
The guy really went missing, all right?
He went. Hoffa went missing, but how the real story is, a lot of it's made
fabricated.
Yeah, a lot of it's
fabricated.
fabricated.
You know what's crazy?
You watch the documentary.
He gave me the title for that.
Oh wow.
So when you picked that Mental from?
It's a Italian word for code of silence.
Gotcha.
He gave me that, and I was like, "Yo, cuz I want to drop an EP before."
Yeah, my fault.
This thing.
I want to drop something before La Cosa Nostra.
Right.
I want to drop something. I need a name for something. Like I had something.
Wow.
I had like it's called Jewels and the Gems.
Okay.
That was one of them, but I was like, I don't fit. And then he called me. He said, "Yo, Momenta." Like, ooh, what that mean?
That's the first thing he said. Wait.
He said,
that shit sounded amazing to me.
He said, code of silence. But that's a good thing. That tells you right there, like, I'm open-minded. I'm willing to, like, educate me. Like, I don't know everything. I don't like people that always say, I know. Word. Like, they always teaching you something, but you can't teach them nothing.
Right.
You can't build, those are the people you can never build a team with. That you can't teach nothing. I always tell Cuz or Don or Quentin, I'm sorry, or any of my friends, like, oh, I didn't know that, educate me. And they'll be like, word, all right, boom, they give me the whole breakdown of it. Because I'm always willing to learn something. I don't know. Like, one thing my Uncle Mike told me, he said, Ajape love. Do you know what that means?
No.
Right? I said, I don't know. I was in the backyard. I was in the backyard.
A job they love.
A job they love. I never heard of that, right?
A job they love?
Ajape love.
Oh shit, my fault. I was thinking on something different.
See? And and it's my uncle and my father in the back, right? Thanks. Right? And he's like, yo, now, have you ever heard of Ajape love? I'm like, nah. He said, when we have time, I'll tell you about it. I said, oh man, I want to know now. You know what I mean?
Shit at me like that, walk away.
Yeah. You know what that is?
Thinking all night about it.
Right?
So,
then you want to talk to me now.
Basically, unconditional love. And like they use it in therapy, and it's much more in it. But he just summed it up. It's unconditional love. Like no matter what that person does or whatever, it's unconditional you have, and that's Ajape love. And I was like, wow, it's crazy. So like you always want to be able to be educated and take pointers from other people. Definitely if you're building something, that's the only way you're gonna be successful. That's the only way you're gonna win.
You don't need smart as the people around you.
Yeah, exactly. And mind you, my cousin is 3-4 years younger than me. So if I'm asking him to educate me about something, that tells you enough how open-minded
you need that balance in life. You need that balance in a crew where everybody can learn from everybody, no matter what generation you're from, no matter where you at. Somebody can teach you something. For me, the day you stop learning is the day you stop growing.
Yeah.
I don't like to look at age either, bro. I guess one thing I don't look at no more. You can learn from like all different people, bro. Some shit you can learn from.
One thing I heard, like this guy said, never come to the table with a full cup.
Explain that.
So pretty much don't come to a situation or come to somebody or whatever and thinking you know everything. Come with your head full of thinking, come with an empty cup.
Right. That makes sense. Or you could be like Kanye and be the table.
Or be a sponge.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, we want to change gears a little bit, man. I think I talked to these guys about it earlier. Speaking of table, man, we spoke a lot about divorces. You know, people being separated and stuff like that, and how, divorces are up now more so than like the 1900s. You know what I'm saying? And I was asking them, like, what do you think it is?
You asking me?
I asked everybody can answer.
Why divorce are up?
Yeah. Well, they say as of last year, I think they say it's the lowest it's been in 50 years.
I think a lot of people, like in the relationship part, people aren't having enough time focused on them and what they want to do. And some feel like I heard a man say this: if I can't chase my dream, I can't make it. I can't let's say I spend 3 hours of the day focused on my passion and what I love, and I can't do that, I will not be fully committed into the relationship. As in, like, I fully can't love you how I want to love you because I can't, if I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing and I can't spend at least 3 hours doing this what I do, then it's just fucking up. And another thing is, you have this whole social media way, what I mean? Where you have women that, like, you really think, like, if you're not posting me, why you're not posting me? You're cheating on me? And that's a bad way to go about things because, our parents' era, and I'm not saying it would have been any different in our parents' era or the era before then, where, you know, they ain't have social media.
There's a lot of secrecy.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I feel like as a relationship with your partner's your best friend.
Right.
Your partner's your soulmate.
Right.
And at all times as a man, you want to protect your partner. You want to protect your family. So you're not going to post certain things. I don't want you to know what my kids look like. And if I do want you to,
I'm gonna
I'm gonna bring my kids around. But if I do want you to see my kids, want you to don't fuck with my kids when you see my kids. You know what I mean? And I'm such a man that protects his family and strives. You know, one of the illest things, right? I got a stepson. That's my real son. No, I mean, I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Anybody will tell you here how I treat him. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I don't like saying stepson. I call him real son. But I just want the story. The illest story, right? It's like I'm training him to become a man. You know, because he's too spoiled. You know what I mean? Right. Kid got young boy in his room, nigga. I don't got the PlayStation 4. He got the 5 in his room.
God,
yeah. He got.
We struggle for the 1. You know what I mean? He's like, it's the 1.
You know, I got the 1. Got the new cell. I mean, his mom got him the new cell phone. He got the new iPhone. I got him the new iPhone. You know, I'm like, man, I don't spoil myself. You know what I mean? But one of the other things is like I'm teaching them like how to earn things and earn, and a lot of that also falls when a man is not running the household. A man's not setting the rules. I'm not saying that. Like one thing, if a man's out doing what he gotta do, the woman gotta protect the castle. You know what I mean? A relationship is a partnership. Once it's not starting to feel like a partnership, then that's when things just fall out of place and fall out of line. My father been together since my mother was 17 years old. And they still together now. My parents been together for over 25 years. And my mom had me at a young age. You know, and they was really sold on, you know, one hand watch the other, both watch the face. We're really giving our time into our children, and we're here to build, not destroy.
Mindset. Mindset is everything.
Yeah.
And to go back to the point, I think it's social media mostly. See, the difference is, even back in the day when we was in school, social media has just started brewing a little bit. Got a little Facebook here and there, but everything was to the eye. Like, you had a thought process of how somebody looked. Now you go on social media, they twerking. Like,
it's not as exciting as more.
It's like I got it everywhere. So now it's like when you get a girl, it's like, all right, cool, that's cool, but I got so much other shit to see. You know what I mean? Like, your eye isn't narrow. As soon as you open up Instagram,
I can contact these people now.
Right.
Think about when you was younger and you know you got a nude.
Word.
How it that was like, yo! You had to put in work. Whatever you got to do, it was like the biggest thing in the world.
Motherfucker put that shit under the bed.
Nigga, you go to your friend and say, yo, you got that, yo, let me go see that, yo, let's see that.
It was the biggest thing in the world.
I seen the ass, bro. You see, but now
it's like, alright, it's whatever now because you see it 24/7. So it's like,
hey,
alright, it's not exciting no more. You see girls twerking all day. It's not exciting no more. So it's like, alright, what else?
Like, bro, you seen that? Yeah, I follow that. I know.
Yeah, I follow that.
Like, I see y'all niggas liking it.
Your name right there.
Like what I like. I don't tap. I think that's weird to tap it, but it's like in social media. I think a lot. Like I said, it used to be limited, and now you can vast majority. You can date anybody now, because at the end of the day,
before you had to have a mouthpiece to talk to a girl, you had to come up to DM, and then the whole time you're a weirdo when they meet you. Like
a comment.
They ain't got no mouth. They ain't got no game.
It's just
and there's a lot of. Oh, I like that. Why can't you do that for me?
Perception is different, right? It's like that too, because that's going to change everything.
So I'm gonna throw a monkey wrench in it then. All right, so I told y'all it was like the lowest it's been in 50 years, right? The 80s it was fucked up. Like the 80s was like really high. Like the divorce rate in the 80s was insane. So like, what did social media play or not? Because didn't have that.
And it's also
they had drugs back then, nigga. They was eating
drugs, money, financial reasons.
You also gotta think, right? A lot of women got food stamps, Section 8 and everything.
So you really can't need no man.
You really get that. You can't have a man in the house.
They push
you know what I mean?
That's a bigger perspective.
They also push the man out of the house
and keep him out too.
So I'm happy you said that because it ties into what I was about to say.
Yeah, because
feminism. Feminism, that whole wave, that whole movement, it's the same as like the 80s, bro.
But honestly, can you blame them?
Yes, I can.
Like, okay, look, I'm gonna say this is systematically put together to be this way. Like, that's the thing. So sometimes, like, we gotta fault each other. The men gotta be better. The women gotta be better. That's just that. No, that's the reality. Cause I'm sorry, these dudes out here living no apartment. They living with somebody. They don't have a place to live.
That's
they mooching off different people.
That's another thing.
We gotta hold each other accountable. I'm tired of that one way or another. No, either this person gotta fit. No, the women gotta be better. The men gotta be better.
So and I think that's too. Like, you got Mexicans, right? That come over here, whatever. And I'm not trying to just, what's the name? You got people that come over here, right? Mm-hmm. They have like 4 or 6 dudes in one apartment, bro. But they all working to get somewhere. Before you know it, they own a house on the block. So because you stay with somebody, I don't think that, fucks up anything.
But that's different.
Right, but they say that's completely different. What I'm saying is,
just using somebody and munching on somebody. They're not going to use.
We're not talking about niggas.
Like, they'll bring their whole family and have 100 people in the house, and then they come here and get businesses and do all that. And then
one at a time, everybody buy a house.
And they all putting their people on.
We buy a house.
And that's how I feel like that's one of the strong things you got to do, because in the Dominican store, I ain't going to say what store, but it's always a different manager every 3 months. Mm-hmm. So whoever's working there, they're going to get their money. Then, cuz, you next for the next 3 months. Mm-hmm. You get your money, next 3 months, you're going to be the manager. Boom, boom.
Black people ain't doing that.
You know what I mean? Some people,
That's the sad part.
It's sad. It's like that in some, but I got best of both worlds. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I see the world through a whole different lens.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I see the lens. My lens is like this. I see the whole room.
Right.
Some people see it like
narrow, because that's all they know. Right.
And I see it like this because I got best of both worlds. You know what I mean?
And that's dope. And like I said, your parents been together, so you know how it is to have that close knit.
And I also was one of the kids that's like, see my friends that they only had their mother.
Yep. So you can
or
see
some
that.
Friends only had their father.
Right.
You know what I mean? And if I did have a friend that had a father and mother, both in their life, I'm like, but it was relating and stuff, right. But I also I was the only kid in the hood that really had both parents. You know what I mean? I'm just blessed. You know what I mean? And like the family structure that we had in our family, you know what I mean? That everybody says it to this day, like, y'all family is deep. Right. Like deep, like people know, like then there everybody, like I can go every hood, most of them are our cousins. You know what I mean? And so I said we blessed that we have the opportunity to really have a family. We come from that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Where they could have family reunions every year if they wanted to. Mm-hmm. If it wasn't for the pandemic, we would have one every year. You know what I mean?
We do. We've been doing good. We've been doing good. What?
Yeah.
Really, 8 years. Yeah. 10 years in total, but 8 years strong. But we've been doing that, and it's like a lot of family. And even recently, and I know we're gonna get back to your point. Even recently, me reconnecting with family. You know what I mean? Like, I was disconnected from my brothers and sisters for a long time because of my mom's situation. Yeah. So she actually put my brothers and sisters in other places. So it was only recently that we started to even connect, and we got in contact and was able to connect and everything. So family is definitely like super important. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, your point, man.
No, I just think I think the system, the way we think, like when it comes down to like independency, is like the way the system wants us to think, right? Think about it, right? Like me and my brother, like we could have brought a crib like 3 times over, bro. We could have had like 3 cribs, right? Because we all, my mom, my brother, my sister, we all live separate. We all paying mad different. Like we paying like what? Like probably close to 10 grand in rent. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, just think about we was all under one roof, bro. How many cribs we would have? Like how much money we would accrue. So I believe like, even just thinking about that, bro, like the system wants you to think certain ways.
You know what's ill?
Like, you need to have this.
You know what's ill that you said that? Everybody know my grandfather, what my grandfather was and what my grandfather stood for. Right? They said my grandfather.
Just speak up a little bit so that
everybody knew who my grandfather was and who my grandfather stood for. He was a man in power. Let's say that. You know what I mean? Right. But he not here right now, so but he was a man in power. You know what I mean? One of the illest things was what they said the family, my grandfather grew up on Hudson Street. Hudson Street. Ross, like
we're gonna say Hudson Street for the sake of the podcast.
Like when my father was born, they grew up in one of these buildings, right? In the apartments, right? And they said, when was it, like 73? 72. The year my father was born. My grandfather was looking at this house, and this uncolored man said,
I like you put that uncolored.
Professional, you know what I mean? But he told my grandfather, you'll never buy this house. I grew up in that same house. My father grew up in that house. My sister grew up in that house. My daughter growing up in that house. To this day.
Still got it.
Since 72.
Still got it.
So you saying that just brought me, you know, my grandfather always wanted something that we always lay our heads under. House paid off, anything.
It's a mindset. And it's funny because I hate the thought process when you say, like, you have to, like, oh, you live at home with your mother.
Yeah. That's another chick.
That house, we own that. Like, that's a difference. The difference is I'm not renting. I own that.
So what do you think? But what have you written though?
And the thing is too, the other thing too, right, is like the way the house is set up is like there's another apartment next to it, connected to it. So me and my family live there. Right. But my parents live on the other side of the house. Right. So I'll never see my parents unless I gotta open the door and get through the other side. You know what I mean? And like my it's like generational thing. As in one day my father may want to give me that house. Right. You know what I mean? So he sees me like he got teaching me the ropes, how to keep up with the house, property tax, and everything. Because when you black, you gotta take care of what you have if you own it. Oh, yeah, because somebody's gonna want to take it from you.
Of course.
Definitely, if it's sitting on 3 different lands. You know what I mean, brother? Coming from where we coming from, not Atlanta, Jersey, in this area, Jersey, owning. Sitting on 3 properties and we own that.
They probably throw that man massive money every year.
You know what I mean? They want to sell it, tax. You know what I mean? But nah, no money's worth it because somebody said you'll never have this house. So I want to teach that to my daughter.
That's your last ever, yeah.
You know what I mean? That structure is everything. I'm gonna teach you, and you're gonna be a strong woman, and you can live somewhere else, but just know you have this house, this house forever. You know what I mean? And you just know where you come from. You know what I mean?
Now, what would you say? You say
what is because
like I said, it's always a starting point, and I think that people tend to forget that. Like people tend to think you're supposed to wake up every day and you got a house somewhere. No. It's levels to this shit, and I know it's a song and all that, but it's levels to this shit. Like you don't just wake up and you just know everything. One day at a time. I have always been in an apartment. I have never lived in a house until I was staying with my son's mom. You know what I mean? I lived in the house, and then I learned the value of ownership. There, you know, when in the morning he'll, you know, my father come and be like, hey, Rajon, you know, I need you to come downstairs and help me with the roof. I'm on the roof, like, nigga, what? I normally would have called the landlord and be like, yo, the water leaking upstairs, you gotta handle that. But now I'm seeing a value in going up there, cleaning out the gutters, or mowing the lawn, or changing the water pipes that people hate doing. You know what I mean? Exactly. But at the same time, but at the same time, you start to value things a little bit different. And I think that's the one thing that started to change people's perception of the hood. When you start to take care of your shit and you realize other people don't, you like, wow, you start to see the disconnect. Like, oh, it's supposed to be like this. They want it like this. But it naturally is supposed to be like this. Taking care of our shit, fixing our roofs, mowing our lawns on Saturday, cleaning the house. But now we were structured to rent, borrow. You know what I mean? And it's like, no, it's ownership. Ownership is the almighty. Like I said, now I understand that. So now I'm looking for my first opportunity to buy a house. Ask this man talking about property almost every day. We talked about it in the group chat. Niggas saying, oh, they closed that spot. I'm like, what? Why you ain't tell me, bro? We could have. What? You know what I mean? Like, these are the things that we gotta, you know, like I said, we gotta hold ourselves accountable.
And I think
we're accountable to this shit.
And I think with this generation that we're in, like our age and kids that's younger, they want to buy a house. You don't see it no more. Kids aren't. You're using social media as a benefit too because you see it a lot. First time homeowners. You know what I mean? So people want to buy houses, and it's not stopping them no more. They're moving out. They're moving out. Even if they gotta move to PA or they gotta move to Atlanta or they gotta move somewhere, they're buying houses. You know what I mean? And there's so much money in today's world where you don't even have to settle for a job. You don't. You see people our age is like, man, I don't want to work, whatever. You know what I mean? Regardless of, you know, some people have the heart to do that, some people can, or some people say, nah, I can't do that because that's not messing with what we have going on. But people are doing that now. And I told my job that the other day. I said, listen, you better be grateful that me and him are here because we're the youngest dudes in our jobs. So you better be grateful that we're coming here every day showing up. Because there's people right here, we hear something that we don't like, or y'all say something, we can walk up out of here, don't care.
You got people that look at this place like, yeah, I ain't gonna come back here. They won't even get a one-day job done.
But that's discipline, you know what I mean? And that's something that you guys have, and I think that that's something that our generation's last to have.
And I was trying to bash women, man. These niggas talking about.
You trying to get this ignorance? You trying to be on the same side I was when I was talking about who I was talking about? Tina Turner,
yeah.
and they was on my ass for that. Respect. I was talking about Angela Bassett. She thinking in the motherfucker. Thinking in the motherfucker, man.
Oh man.
Thinking it, but what's up, man? So what was the point of that?
I was just joking. Huh?
So what was the whole point of that about the ownership and everything like that and the renting and everything? So what you was getting to?
Oh, what the rent? No, I just think that like our brothers and sisters go through a lot. Like we wasn't. Let's be real. Black people, we not like financially literate at all, right? They don't teach us in school systems. They don't teach us. Our parents didn't have anything to teach us. So we kind of learn this shit on the fly. And I feel like, when we do get to a certain level, we invest in stuff like that. We kind of look down on niggas that's not doing it. And I feel like that's not the key. We need to educate. We got to educate niggas.
As we go, though, too.
Yeah, educate as we go. That's what I'm saying. But it's a lot of niggas that just don't know, bro. Like a lot of niggas that just don't know. I know a nigga that we talk to all the time. You doing pretty good, but nigga had no idea about investing. And so you heard us start talking about it. So now the niggas getting into it and stuff like that, and he just keep posting it. But it's like it's a beautiful thing. But prior to, he didn't know. And I can't look at him like a fucking idiot because he didn't know.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people just don't know, bro.
Yeah.
So
Like I said, that's why we gotta hold ourselves accountable, man. It's our job to inspire. You know what I mean? Continue to motivate, man. Somebody did that for us. Yo, we didn't know about investing in shit. 2016, our cousin came up to a fucking family reunion. It just was like, yo, I want to start an investment club. We're like, what is that? Investment club. Like, and me and him got into it, and actually we were supposed to be online in about 30 minutes, but you know what I mean? Yeah. Investment club, and we talking and everything. We're like, cool, let's just join it for real quick and see what's going on. And we joined it one time, and we just kept going and going and going. And now we look forward, like, dude, like we're in the stock market every day. You know what I mean? And our next journey is real estate. You know what I mean? And it's like there's a lot of things we don't talk about on a day-to-day that we're into.
Yeah.
And always motivating each other to be. Challenge him. He challenged me, and we challenged, like I said, my brother, his brother, cousins, everybody. You know what I mean? We always find a way to wiggle something positive into any conversation. You know what I mean? Like me and my brother had a conversation. We sat down, we talked a little bit, and I'm talking about stocks and everything to him. And I know that shit is far fetched to him. But at the end of the day, like he'll never say that he never heard it though. He heard it. And the information is there. So even if you run across it to somebody that he knows, that's like, oh wait, no. My brother said this. And this, and he'll have some knowledge of it, if you want to get into it or whatever. But I think, like I said, it's on us. It's on us to not feed that knowledge. I'm not selfish with knowledge. I'm giving it.
And that's so key, right? Because we had a conversation, bro. I don't know if you seen it. I posted something on Instagram. It kind of got me upset because everybody knows how hard I strive for growth as for artists or young entrepreneurs that want to do something. And people reach out. That's all I do is help and want to see people grow. Right, so one of the family members got a little podcast called The Nightcap. He said, yo man, I was bragging about Kaimo to these dudes, right? And I'm like, yo, y'all know Kaimo? They're like, yeah, he doing his thing, yo. We're like, word. Yo, we all gotta get behind him and push him forward, man. That kid is bright, man. We as a city, the dude, right? I know it's an older dude, he said, but what is he gonna do for you? That's the worst mentality to have. You know what I mean? The worst mentality to have, and that's key that you said, excel. Some people don't even have the opportunity to really gather information and know, yo, you shouldn't think like that. Because that's why you're in the situation you're in. Not saying, it's his fault, but that's sometimes the mentality that a lot of the people from the hood have. You know what I mean? And that's the thing, but we're trying to change. You know what I mean? Well, sounding education. I remember I got a book for Christmas, right? I wanted a book. I wanted the 50 Cent book.
I was about to say, good guy.
Right? I wanted a book.
I will buy me a book for Christmas.
You know what I mean?
I won't fight. Give me that bite.
I wanted this 50 book, right? And then they say, yo, you got a book for Christmas? Like, yeah, I wanted this book. Right. Because guess what? It taught me what to know what to do if somebody gave me when I got a deal and then they gave me, the advance, what to do with the advance. I guarantee you half the people wouldn't know what to do. You know what I mean? But I know what to do. And I always was taught, if you want to hide money, put it in a book. Because they'll never know where to look. That would be the first. Nobody will know where to look. They'll look in a shoebox
if you want to hide knowledge, from black,
put it in the book. Put it in the book.
That's the craziest concept, man. Like I said, but it's up to us, man. It's up to us to now change the thought process, you know what I mean? Because that's our job. Then I feel like people come in life and they think life is about making $1 million and just going. Nah, it's about passing knowledge on. It's about educating the generation after us, even the generation that's next to us. It's about the education part. It's about I get this. I'm gonna teach you how to do it. I'm gonna teach you how to do it. I'm gonna teach you how to do it. Y'all gonna teach me something. So now we all eat Corner of the World Records. You know what I mean? We all eat in different aspects. But you might can rap. Alright, I can make a little money off that, but I can make a lot more money on this. So it's about using the tools that you have in your toolbox and you inspire people, dude. Like I said, you know what I mean? Like, we can't be selfish, man. We just can't. But a lot of the people before us, and like I said, you can never fault them, though. You can't say, oh, they wrong, nah, you wrong. That's their thought process because that's what they grew up in. They grew up in the mix of that. They grew up in the 80s where it was self. Like, people tend to think, like, that time was rough for us, bro. You had more people on drugs than it was just randomly walking around. You know what I mean? People were just so in a different spot, and a lot of their dreams failed. And they failed, and they'll tell you, like, look, bro, stop, bro, it's gonna fail. I can't fault him for saying that. I can't. He put everything into it. It just didn't work for him. He took off a day before.
I called off friends because of that. My friend told me, because he was in college, he told me, he was there. He told me, yo. he told me, yo, I have a plan B, yo. I'm like, you crazy, dog. If I have a plan B, I can't put my focus on plan A. Because I'm too busy thinking about failing. And he said, nah, man, you know how many people I sound different. He's like, all right, whatever.
You know I hate that shit, though? I seen the quote, it was like, yo, if you think you're doing something that everybody else is doing, just go down the tissue aisle. Look how many tissue companies, and all those tissue companies are thriving. Like, all of us probably we all probably use different tissue, bro.
All different brands.
All different brands, you know what I'm saying?
Scott.
Scott.
Y'all niggas bougie. Y'all plush. Y'all like the extra soft shit. Nah, nigga.
I like a bigger roll.
Nice, bro.
You flush the right time, shit gonna clog this shit. Word, I ain't gonna lie, that shit do be hard, but
that Scott's thin.
It's thin, better be careful. But you gotta be careful though.
The whole damn roll.
Shit get dangerous.
The whole damn roll. And one day,
down there.
But nah, man, that's the key, man. That's the key. But like I said, in our reality, like I said, people just sell their dream and put their dreams on you, put their failures on you sometimes, and you can't really fault them. Understand where they go. They just took off a day earlier than they should have. That's all it takes. It's a matter of somebody just putting the fucking foot to the bottom and just going. You just took off a day earlier than they were supposed to.
So
you probably would have been there. You took off a day earlier.
I would respect the nigga saying, yo, it's gonna be a tough road, but this is what you can do. Well, don't do this, or don't do that. But it's gonna be a tough road ahead of you. I prefer a nigga say that.
I'm be honest, I feel like sometimes people look for the loss, right? Niggas like, nah, he gonna fail. And sometimes that motivate me though. That motivate me, you know what I mean? Because I feel like it's more people looking for the loss because they expect that. Man, this man done failed multiple times. And it's like, you just don't really talk about it. We're not failed, we just gave up. You know what I mean? We never failed at anything, you know what I mean? I gave him a lot. I was supposed to be a DJ. I literally canceled the day of the motherfucking DJing gig. Asked him, the owner cursed me the fuck out. Nigga, you had your day. Nigga, shout to Shaka. But like he cursed me out. But I gave up on myself. Because for one, I got there early as hell, nobody got there. And I'm like, nah, nobody gonna show up. And I literally left before the shit even started. I dipped, gave up on myself. You know what I mean? It was like, I don't think, like I was scared to fail. You know what I mean? So I dipped out. And like he showed up after me. And I was supposed to be telling him, this nigga showed up and said, where you at? And now I left. He like, what? Nigga, this your event. Like, even if it's 5 motherfuckers here, we gonna party all fucking night. But me thinking it's like, yo, nah, I'm gonna fail. Like, nah, ain't nobody gonna show up.
Wow.
Literally 10 o'clock come around, I'm getting text calls, yo, where you at? Yo, and I'm like, I took off earlier than I should have. I took off earlier than I should have. I didn't have that faith in myself. And I think, like I said, some people don't have the backbone to try it again. You keep throwing shit at the wall.
Shouts out to Ant, man.
That's a fact.
Going out to Atlanta, making it happen, bro. Buying his first crib, bro.
I'm gonna be honest, like for sure. Yeah. Shout out to Ant, man. I got him in there. That nigga went out to Atlanta. He brought his first house. That's one of the first people out of our crew to buy it, to own his own home.
Wow.
Nice. That's crazy.
That's
nice.
That's
nice.
Nigga was eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches when he moved to Atlanta, bro. Left his fiance up there with his daughter, and he went down there, bro, as a police officer.
They're making shit happen.
Making shit happen. Eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, bro.
It's hustle. That's strong.
That's a
Like,
fact.
Now he cooking his favorite meal.
Yeah,
in his
exactly.
own kitchen.
That-
Different type of desire, bro.
You know what I mean? You go into the idea of just not giving up on yourself, and then, you know what I mean? We had a clothing line that was going and everything like that. We took off a day early. And that was all it was, you know what I mean? And we can still bring it back, which it will come back. You know what I mean? It's just like a matter of just never giving up on yourself, and then just still having hope, though. Because niggas live up in their dream, they just fail to have hope. It's like everything is lost, I fuck up, and I'm done. Nigga, we started this podcast because of Ruben. When our boys came and was like, yo, what's up with this podcast? Y'all niggas talking about a podcast, what's up with it? He was the reason why this shit started.
Wow.
Yeah.
He was the reason why this shit started.
Y'all ever got the name? I'm sure a lot of people don't get the name though.
What?
Like Hudson Crew?
The Hudson Crew?
Yeah.
Nah.
Cause like that's the river that separated us. Like he was from like New York, when he was over in Jersey, and shit like that. So yeah,
That's dope. That's hard.
Oh,
wow.
Came out, yeah.
That's why we always say like watching the Hudson, like you see like little quotes. And shit.
Wow, I get it now. Wow, that's dope. That's ill. That's ill.
And this shit started off of me, him, Ruben, and Ant just talking about it, doing something.
Yeah.
And then we just talked about it. And Ruben came out one day and just was like, yo, what's up with it? And then we just started it. We just never stopped. We started this shit, recording this motherfucker on like a fucking Sony that had batteries. So this shit would die every 10, 15 minutes. We was popping out new batteries. You had a bag of batteries, you know what I mean? And it's like never giving up on yourself, you know what I mean? And then we meet good people like Kaimo, Q, Nas, E, you know what I mean? Ray come up there, bless it. Ant come bless, you know what I mean? And Al, you know what I mean? All these people that always supported us beforehand. Jeff, may he rest in peace, that's my barber, you know what I mean? Like people who support us nonstop. And then look where we are now. Not giving up on ourselves. Many times where we thought like, look, man, life is getting a little too hard. Shit, we both salary jobs where we still gotta find a way to, you know, still create content. Still just never giving up on yourself.
No.
Yeah, we not the hottest podcast
Right now.
But locally, I don't fuck with nobody say we the hottest thing popping, and I'm always say that because I got more faith in myself than I know somebody else got in this. I think I got more faith in our content than anybody else. Cause I know what you getting here, we not stripping this shit. Y'all test ain't no papers nowhere in it. Not one piece of paper in this motherfucking we rocking.
It's raw.
You know what I mean? And we rocking the floor is uncut. You know what I mean? And that's something that we go. Sushi boy. I'm raw. You know what I mean? Nigga said, nah, I got a whole child. They said, nah, I'm good. To randoms, no deals. You know what I mean? But it's like this raw and uncut and we go.
It's crazy. It's crazy you said that because if after football, I would be lost if it wasn't for this man. I would never met none of y'all because I was lost. Because I stopped football for, be honest, good friend, and also the situations that was happening in the school. I gave up on. Damn, I gotta pay for this. I ain't gonna be able to do that. Or I don't got a Metro card. I gotta keep risking my life. I'm like, no, I can't do this. I can't do this at all. And then I just like gave up. And then after like a year or two, hey, yo,
your purpose
you come to the shoots.
Your purpose was
yo,
way beyond.
He's like, yo, take this picture of me. I don't got nobody to take a picture of me because. Honestly, his sister took some pictures of him sometimes when he first started. Right. His sister.
He should say hit.
I can't. They ain't gonna say that right now. So back him the fuck out.
I can't bring my little sister up the block.
I can't tell you the exact day, but that one day after shooting, just take this. It was a Canon T3i. I'll never forget.
That shit was expensive, nigga. I don't just throw that shit out. That was a nice ass camera.
So we were just taking pictures. Next day he called me, bro. Those pictures nice. Look, I don't take no damn. Cause in high school, before all of this, high school they had a class, TV production. I hate this shit. Get away from me. I'm dropping this class. I dropped the class twice. Twice I dropped this. Coming up to now, thinking it wasn't that I ain't like the teacher. And that time, I'm the football dude. I'm going to the NFL. I'm gonna play football.
It's not purposeful, right? So that's why I said it's easier, like in a neighborhood, right? If we know young kids is doing stuff, like put a camera in their hand early. So when they go to high school and they taking that TV class or whatever they call it, I forgot what it's called. It's purposeful.
You know how many young kids I seen picked up a camera after him? And you know what that did for me? And I know the young kids, and they'll come up to him and ask him, and And I'm just sitting there like,
yo, cause now they got it's purpose.
Currently, right now, a videographer, a young kid, he had text me a video like, yo, do you think I should put this out? Check it out, see what I need to change.
Right.
And I give him game on what, okay, don't do that, but switch certain things out and do this.
Right.
Just giving them games, like the stuff I didn't get.
Beautiful.
Imagine when he get in high school and then they got that free course they don't got to pay for. That now he gonna be in there listening. Now you got another student in there that's now really learning the basics in school where he don't got to pay.
Nobody.
And that's the same. We got this wood shop classes and all that. None of that shit is purposeful when we're in high school. Carpentry.
But then once you get
purposeful because nobody's doing carpentry.
And the crazy part about
I didn't
it,
know fucking carpentry when I was.
when you said wood shop, now
that's my class.
Going back to ownership, you own your own house, you know how to fix that because you did wood shop.
I got my son fixing his floor, so now when he go to school, that's purposeful.
He gonna be like, oh, this
now
how
he want to learn in that class. So now you make it. It's really access to shit. It's really access is what will help these kids. And if we're given access, you create opportunities. Corner of the World Records, you know what I mean? All these things, these big productions, you know, Lord Entertainment, where you're given these foundations of things and creating these avenues where kids look up to that now. Yeah. So now when it's time for them to have that opportunity, they like, yo, we can be Lord. We can be Corner of the World. We can be putting films. We can be all these things. So now it's more purposeful. It's more purposeful.
I went to school. The reason why I went to Montclair State was to become a teacher, right? I was supposed to become a high school teacher. I started seeing some of these kids out here.
Dirtbag, man.
It's the reason though. It's the reason. I know myself and I know these kids. I'm like, yo, these young kids, it's terrible. I will lose my job if I fight one of these young kids because they're terrible, right? I'm like, yo, I'm not doing that, but you know, it's the curriculum that they teach you in school.
It's one of the illest things said, right?
If they focus on or hone in on these kids' crafts, bro, these kids are these superstars. Like, if you can see what these kids like early on, bro, stop teaching them shit that they don't know.
Boys, right now, I work for the Boys and Girls Club. It's 2015. I stopped 2019, right? You started to see a shift where kids were starting to mess up after I left. Because I created a curriculum there called Barbershop Talk. And Barbershop Talk, I had every kid in there, boy or girl, whatever. I started off with boys, and I brought the girls into them. I said, close your eyes. Who lives with a mom? Every kid raised their hand. Who lives with a dad? 3 kids raised their hand. Who has both parents? A couple kids raised their hand. Just one kid didn't raise his hand for any of those. So then I said, open your eyes. I said, I'm going to ask this one time. Who lives with their mom? Kids raise their hand. Everybody raised their hand for that. Same people, right? And they see the one kid that ain't raised his hand for nothing. They're like, who you live with? Who you live with? I said, Boogie, you want to tell him? He's like, yeah, I'm a foster kid. So that got people emotional. Right. Because you seen a kid that was smiling, that was happy, but you ain't know he was a foster kid. When I mean that build the kids, that's one thing. When you start to build a classroom together, kids together, and they start sticking up for each other outside, you building a purpose there. You know what I mean? And that's one of the things where sometimes you gotta freestyle the shit you do. You read the shit you do as a teacher, like, all right, I know how I'm gonna intertwine this shit. Right. You know what I mean? Like, one of my biggest goals that I'm trying to set by this year, you know what I mean? I'm gonna say it because I want it to happen. And with the strength of my team, and I know we can get it done, is that I really want to build a recording studio inside the Boys and Girls Club. And with that, you'll have, that's strong. We want young kids that's in there, become recording rappers or singers, or even learn how to engineer. You know what I mean? Podcasts, everything, But definitely a recording studio where these kids can record and do music and, you know what I mean? Do song covers or whatever to their favorite songs. And then, when they have the little talent shows at the Boys and Girls Club, you see them really work and you show them, right? Because by that time, we want to build a real recording studio, not for us, but for upcoming, let's say kids that know how to engineer, because they get to high school now. You know what I mean? Whether they could come to this studio and engineering, they could start making a little bit of money. As young kids in high school, like after school, all right, I don't play football, sports.
There's a program.
I can go because I learned from the Boys and Girls Club. And so it's ongoing, so it could just continue to build base. And that's the main thing, is curriculum. So I'm glad you said that, because that's how far my mind go with this and wanting to help and build and really get you know, tapped in with the community 10 times more than I'm already in, bro.
So question, so what's next for you, man? What's next for you, man? What's going on? What's coming up?
So musically, we got a single dropping Friday, March 4th, Go BBS's. We got a new EP dropping April 8th, Momenta Tour, East Side Story. We also got a documentary dropping April 1st. You know what I mean? We're going on tour. Shot directed by my man Quinn Films. You know what I mean? So then we got we also on tour South by Southwest. March 17th to the 20th we'll be in Austin, Texas. I got a show the 17th. One show the 17th, the 18th free. I'm showing a music video out there. And on the 19th I got 2 shows. And on the 20th I'll be back home. And yeah, brother, we have a lot of good things coming. I got a homecoming performance. Performing in Passaic outside. It's gonna be a major event where everybody's outside. Like basketball tournaments and everything soon, so that's gonna be ill. So I'm gonna have a date for y'all for when it comes to that. You know what I mean? So yeah, brother, we have a lot of good.
We definitely trying to make it out there to that South by Southwest for sure. We trying to make it out there. Like I said, we already done created the time. I already talked to my boss, bro. We've been taking that flight, bro. You know what I mean? Like we're gonna be out there for the whole weekend.
No doubt.
We're gonna be out there for the whole weekend. Most likely Friday, Saturday, at least Sunday, bro.
Yeah,
At the same time, we definitely be out there and definitely see you guys out in a different place. You know what I mean? Since I missed the first one, I ain't missing the second one. So we're definitely gonna be out there to see how that jump work out, man. For sure. What you guys did? I know you got something in your mind.
I want you to hear that fire.
Nigga, fuck all that, nigga. We got some. But nah, man, like real talk, man. I really wanted this one to happen, man. I really wanted this one to happen bad because there's so much going on. There's so much growth. There's so much positivity within this room, within both of our communities, within, you know what I mean, Hustle Crew Podcast, Corner of the World Records, and all over the place. You know what I mean? And then show like it's different brothers and different albums and all have different specialties. You know what I mean? And that's why I happen to have Nas and happen to have Q here. You know what I mean? And see like this shit is bigger than just us. You know what I mean? Shit is bigger than just you. You know what I mean? And now, you know, I know it's missing a lot of people. You know, shout out to my man Will. And I say Will first and foremost because Will is the reason why this even happened. You know what I mean? Like I met him a while back. Shout out to Flea. You know what I mean? And me and him, and like he's such a great person, bro. Like I never met somebody as genuine as him. You know what I mean? And when he say he's gonna do something, he's probably gonna do it. And when it first came to me about, you know, the clothing line and everything like that, bro, go for it. You know what I mean? I know him talking to me about signing with you about it. You know what I mean? Like I remember him hit me up and he was telling me he was about to do that, and I'm like, yo, bro, go for it. You know what I mean? And not that he needed my approval, but the fact that he even contacted me was like, oh wow, that's dope, bro.
Just getting that
like that's
advice,
dope.
that good,
you know what I mean?
You know,
that's
that
dope.
Respect your opinion.
You know what I mean? And it made me feel good and like made me feel like it made me feel valued. You know what I mean? And he didn't have to do that. He said he didn't know me from a can of paint other than when we worked together. You know what I mean? So he's the reason why all this shit is happening, why all this shit is moving forward. You know, and speed forward. Look, man, like I respect you guys like brothers, man. Like real talk. Like anything y'all do, like y'all got my support. I know y'all got standing support. I got Hustle Crew Podcast support 100%, and not because you about to because these genuine people. Like genuine people. Like if Q say he gonna come take your motherfucking picture at 3, he gonna be there at 3. You know what I mean? Like he gonna be there. You know what I mean? He showed up without Kaimo. And we talked for some time. We sat on the porch and talked. You know what I mean? So it was like, you know, it's just so much going on, so much positivity, and the idea of pushing P. I think you guys are definitely a front runner of that. You know, pushing positivity and pushing the youth and definitely changing the culture.
Pushing the sake.
Pushing the sake, let's go. You know what I mean? And like I said, like I'm proud to even know you guys. You know what I mean? To even be a part of it.
Vice versa.
I enjoy this shit. I enjoy this shit a lot, man. Like, this is like the highlight of my day. I remember you guys invited us to a fucking album release. It was like the most amazing shit ever.
Shout out to Heavy Artillery, man, having the same year, man.
Shout out to him, man. For shout out to them.
Same studio.
That's a fact. Same studio is happening. You know, who knows where this might lead us to? You know, one day maybe we might drop an album myself.
That's
I can't rap. I fucking rap ever. You know what I mean? But this is just dope, man. Like I said, like I love these moments, and why this podcast was actually created so these moments can last forever.
Right.
You know what I mean? These moments can last forever. You know what I mean? And our kids can see it, and our kids can see it. You know what I mean? See that, you know, what we were trying to do. Because our parents, we don't have that. They tell us, oh yeah, we wanted to do.
We have photo albums.
Photo albums.
Photo
now
albums.
We got the video proof. Now we got the video proof. You know what I mean? And I'm just happy for these moments, and man, like I'm gonna remember this shit forever.
I mean, my family got a videotape, but I wasn't born yet. they cut that when I was born.
It was a thing, and they recorded, but it seems like it's only certain families that ever did that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like my family don't have that. Like all my memories are gone. You know what I mean? Like a lot of our stuff is gone, so a lot of my childhood is really stuck to me based upon, you know, word of mouth. So now, you know, me and D can sit here and say like, yo, a lot of this is a stress reliever. And on top of that, like now it lives forever. And it's on YouTube and people can critique it or whatever the case may be, but you know what I mean? This is genuine. This is who we are. We don't fabricate that shit. We don't fabricate, we don't fake anything. We don't try to create images. This is who we are. I laugh loud as hell, but at the end of the day, like I'm like at one point in my life I was the quietest dude. He helped me find my way. Like, and I know I'm gonna bring it to your point, you know, Kaimo helped you and this guy helped me in one of the most smallest ways. Him and his man Todd, and I know Todd don't like me. But that's fine. They don't like me. But you know what I mean? But I gotta give it to the people who I know inspired me. And he was one of those guys, you know what I mean? And it was simple as me going to New York with them and them buying stuff that they had the money to buy all the hottest shit. And they went and bought shit that they liked. I'm like, why the fuck you can't just buy the Uggs that everybody else got? Them motherfuckers hard. And he like, nah, I'm gonna buy these. Like, I paid the same amount, but my shit fly. And just showed me that I didn't have to fit in. I didn't have to go out my way to fit in with everybody else. I can be myself, and I can create my own avenue. You know what I mean? And exactly, and create wealth a different way, and just be myself. And that's what I learned to do, is just be myself. After that, I asked him, like, only thing I ever rocked was show tools. Like, that's all you'll really ever see me in is Adidas. If you catch me in anything, and Yeezys too, but anything Adidas, I'm in. But that's who I am. I don't try to fit in with anybody. I'm myself. And it's thanks to people like Kaimo, people like Statham, you know what I mean, who give us the platform and give us the motivation and or the confidence to continue to do what we do. You know what I mean? And like I said, I can't be nobody, I can't be who I am without that one day. And that's my real cousin. Without that one day of him taking me to New York. So I know how you feel about that.
That one shoot.
That one shoot that changed your life, and that one day that changed mine. You know what I mean? That every day, every time I turn around, I tell them like I appreciate it.
Well, hopefully this one thing can change a lot of you women's lives out there. The reason why divorces are up is because you guys don't want to be like the 1900s.
He might get us fucking canceled. He might get us canceled. That wasn't me. Hey, yo, this is a fucking Hustle Crew podcast. Thank y'all for tuning in.
We know y'all not our grandparents. We know y'all not.
I like grandparents, but they wasn't getting divorced.
They've been tapped in. Hey, yo, real talk, it's a Corner of the World Records. It's fucking Hustle Crew podcast, and it's the best episode that we have put out year to date. I don't give a fuck. Year to date, man. We gonna be going up for you. Like I said, Kaimo, Nas, Quentin Films, Statham, and of course your boy Rob. You got something to say, Statham?
Thank you.
Yes, sir. That's crazy. You about to get us fucking canceled. You know how women gonna